Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and to another Springfield Armory video. And I know some of you have been wondering, hey, why so many Springfield Armory videos lately? Well, I'll tell you the truth. I have a working relationship with the good people at Springfield Armory, and I'm able to get product to review. It's really as simple as that, because if you guys have been around for the last year and a half, you know that we are in a drought. Not just with ammunition, but also with handguns and long guns and shotguns and every other thing. So it's really difficult to get any kind of product, to work with. Even if you just wanted to buy it retail, you still can't get it. You guys have been to the gun store, you know what I'm talking about. So that's really the most obvious answer is I'm able to get the Springfield Armory stuff. And then add to that I really do like the Springfield Armory guns, and so it's a lot of fun to be able to do the reviews. So I hope that answers that question. I've gotten several comments related to that, so I hope that answers that for you. So the RDP, being the newest version of the Hellcat, adds some cool things to it that you might be adding aftermarket, or you might be wishing that you could add aftermarket. And as is usually the case when a manufacturer does it at the factory for you, the integration is much better, and you usually end up with a better product. Okay, these will be the first shots out of the Hellcat RDP. This is exactly the way it comes from Springfield Armory. I haven't done anything additional to it yet. It won't be long, probably like right after this range trip, that I will put a Talon grip on this gun and all the magazine extensions. But for the moment, it is all stock. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some rounds into a paper target, but I do want to see if the Hex Wasp, which is the red dot optic that comes on this gun, which is also a Springfield Armory product, if it's already got a good zero. So I'm going to try that right now. My experience with previous guns from Springfield with optics mounted is that they are dead on from the factory, but you never know. All right, that's close enough at about 12 yards that I would say that is within the room for error for my trigger control and all that good stuff. So for the moment, I'm going to call that a good sight picture and move on. One of the things that's different about the RDP is that it has a new generation Hellcat trigger. So next generation, new generation, whatever they're calling it, it's basically not the same trigger that it was in the first one, which I thought was a pretty decent trigger to begin with. I didn't do a side-by-side comparison of the triggers in this video, and I probably won't anytime in the near future because I don't have the stock trigger anymore in my Hellcat. I switched it out, if you guys remember, if you're following along, with the Apex trigger for the Hellcat. I'm sorry, but I don't feel like changing it back just to do that comparison. Another option that I have on this gun, the RDP Hellcat, is the ambidextrous safety, the manual safety switch, which is an option. You can get a model that has it, and you can get a model or a SKU, more specifically, without it. Either way. I asked them to go ahead and send me the one with it, so that way I have all of the things to talk about and to review. And so I did use the safety, even though I normally don't on this type of a gun. On a small carry striker fired gun, I'm typically not an external safety guy, but I don't mind it being there. And I was able to, again, to test it and use it. And it's a good one. It works nice. It's not exactly, if you're a 1911 guy, it's not exactly in the same place as a 1911 safety. I think they did as best they could with the gun this small to put it in that position, and it's not bad, but you do have to sort of pull your thumb back, or I had to a little bit. So you bigger guys with bigger mitts are probably going to definitely have to manipulate your grip maybe a little bit to work the safety. But that said, it's an easy on, easy off, and I didn't find that it wanted to engage or disengage without my direct and guided attention. So that's sometimes a concern that the safety is going to accidentally go on, or even worse, the safety is going to accidentally come off. I didn't have that experience at all.
The HELLCAT RDP comes with 2 magazines. It comes with the 10-round sort of flush fit and pinky extension magazine with a removable base plate that you can swap back and forth to your preference. And it also comes with the extended 13-round magazine. There's also an available 15-round magazine, and I have one of those. So I'm going to use all 3 of those in the course of today. So we'll get a good try out with the gun and all of those magazines. Okay, so I think I probably have a pretty good zero. I think I was shooting low left just because, you know, that's how I roll. But I'm going to go for the TA target that's downrange, and TA Targets is a great partner to the channel. They provided that target, and they provide all the steel targets that you see, and there's a discount code. You can find all that information down below. So hey guys, look, I don't want to be that Ginsu knife guy to you. I totally get it. I hate that stuff too, but there are companies and organizations that have done a lot to help my channel and continue to do a lot to help my channel. By extension, they're really helping to make this content available to you one way or another. And so I say this completely out of appreciation, and a lot of the times there's something in it for you, like discount codes and affiliate links and things like that. So do go down in the more info or in the comments down below, wherever I'm putting that information, and support the folks that are supporting the channel. Thanks. All right, TA target. Well, I'm still low left, aren't I? What's awesome though is that I can co-witness, so I can still see my really nice UDOT sights. And if I wanted to, I could just switch over and use the sights. It is probably worth tweaking, and after today I probably will, before I get real serious with it at some point in the future. But today, just for testing and just for initial review purposes, I think we've got a good enough sight picture.
So probably the big noticeable thing about the RDP is that compensator out front. You've got this compensator that's almost like a flash hider, but it really is meant to reduce recoil or retard the muzzle lift from recoil. It's a great finish. It matches the slide perfectly, and it has a port in the top and a port on each side for the gases to escape. And you can see in a freeze frame that the gases do definitely escape from all 3 of those ports. And the idea, again, is to keep the muzzle down during recoil. I do plan to see if I can do a test of that. I didn't do it yet, but I do plan to do that with the standard HELLCAT that doesn't have the compensator. And I want to see, I'm going to maybe see if I can get some plus P ammo, because the hotter the ammo, the more likely you are to notice the difference. And I want to see if we can maybe, you know, put some graph paper behind the gun and take some shots and let you see the difference. So look for that coming up. Probably going to do a part 2 with some additional comparisons as well. But what I was starting to say is it's really cleverly designed. It's no tool installation or removal. So you can take the compensator off and put the compensator back on without the use of any tools whatsoever. which is very nice, especially not just for regular cleaning and field stripping, but if you had to actually do it out in the field where you may not have tools handy, you can do it. Also, because it is aluminum, it doesn't hold heat a whole lot, so if the front end of your slide is cool enough to touch, it'll be cool enough to touch, so you can do that. But it's got a neat design. There's a flat spot in the threading on the bottom part of the barrel that that matches up to a spring-loaded lever on the compensator, and they marry up nicely. And once it's latched in place, that's it. It doesn't move. It's not going to come off. It's not going to unscrew itself or any of that. So it's an excellent design. Springfield also provides a thread cap, so if you don't want to use the compensator, or if you for some reason need to remove it, you want to protect those threads, you can go ahead and put that thread cap right on there and you're good to go. Speaking of the threads, they are standard 1/2 inch by 28, so this gun should be able to accept a suppressor without any additional work too.
Okay, let me spread the love around, or the hate, whatever. Let me spread it around to the other steel targets back there. Again, this whole array you see downrange is all from tactical TA targets. That was a hit. Just low. I'm trying to alternate between the iron sights and the optic, which is actually harder to do than you might think. All right. Like I said, it could be sighted in a little bit better. And I know some of you are going, well, then why don't you? Because I'm lazy. I don't feel like it. I feel like taking the extra time. It's supposed to rain like any minute, so I don't feel like spending 10 minutes doing that and then getting my cameras out of the rain real quick. Oh, the terrible life, isn't it? All right, so this Hellcat is on loan to me. I don't own it. I didn't buy it yet. When I asked Springfield Armory to send it to me, I did say, go ahead and send it to me with all of the bells and all of the whistles. And one of those whistles, or bells, whichever you prefer, is the manual external safety. It's available with or without. But I said, you know, if it's got it with it, I don't need to use it. But if it has it, I can at least demonstrate that and include that in my content. So I am going to use the safety, I think, whenever I think about it. I don't typically use a safety on a polymer striker fired carry gun. But you know, more and more they're being offered as options. So all right, let's go to the dueling tree over here. So speaking of the safety, it is a pretty good easy on, easy off. All right, well, that's not too bad. All right, I don't think there was any misses there, and I am holding off a little bit to compensate for the sight end, but it's pretty easy to do because it's not off by much.
I know I keep harping on them, on not just the Hellcat, but also XDMs and some of the other guns that Springfield has put them on, XDSs. But these UDOT sights, I really like this design of their sights. It's a nice fast acquisition, great sight picture, excellent visibility with those bright colors, and those are the sights that come on the HELLCAT RDP. But what's even better is that if you got it with the optic on it, or you put an optic like the Wasp on it, they co-witness. They co-witness beautifully. And for me, for a carry gun with an optic on it, that is a prerequisite. The only thing that prevents the gun from being fully ambidextrous is the mag release. The mag release is reversible, but the button's only on one side or the other, and of course it comes ready for the right-handed shooter. You can reverse it for a left-handed shooter, but it's never going to be ambidextrous in that respect. Bottom line for me is, how does the gun shoot? Do I shoot it well, and do I enjoy shooting it? And with the Hellcat, since day one, since the first Hellcat I picked up, a couple years ago, the answer has been yes and yes. I shoot the gun well, and so it's conducive to my particular style of shooting, my grip, my stance, and all that stuff. And it's a whole lot of fun to shoot. It's a small gun, so you're going to have a little bit of recoil with a 9mm round that you're not going to have with a larger, heavier gun. But it handles it really well, and the ergonomics allow you to manage it very well. So like I said, be looking for a comparison coming before too terribly long against the original Hellcat. Mostly I want to compare the Compensator. I want to see if that Compensator makes a big difference in managing recoil, or if it's just a cool addition. Even if it's just a cool addition, it is one. But I want to see if it actually does have that functionality. So I'm going to try and test that as scientifically as I'm capable of, which is ish. I also just happen to have a new Hellcat from Langdon Tactical coming, or expected to be coming soon. I'm going to do a full review on Guns America probably for that gun. But while I'm doing that, or in addition to doing that, I'm also going to probably throw it into the mix in comparing it. So we might go for a Hellcat trifecta comparison here in the near future. And remember, if you didn't hate this video, please hit the I didn't hate it button right below the video. It's the one that kind of looks like a thumbs up. And if you don't already subscribe, you might want to think about doing that too. I would appreciate having you on board, and then that way you won't miss new stuff when it comes out. Huge thanks, as always, to the patrons and all of those who support the channel. I'll see you guys next time.